Discussions in the US are intensifying over whether President Donald Trump might declare martial law. Speculation began after Trump, on Inauguration Day, signed an executive order declaring a national emergency at the southern border. The order directed Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem to submit a joint report within 90 days by April 20th on border conditions and recommendations for achieving full operational control, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. As the deadline approaches, social media platforms like X are abuzz with rumors that Trump may declare martial law, raising public concern. The Insurrection Act of 1807, signed into law by President Thomas Jefferson, is a federal statute that authorizes the president to deploy U.S. military forces and the National Guard domestically to suppress insurrections, rebellions, or civil unrest. Historically, the act has been used sparingly, with its last invocation during the 1990 Los Angeles riots following the acquittal of police officers in the Rodney King beating case. While both the Insurrection Act and martial law involve military intervention, they differ significantly. The Insurrection Act is typically applied locally to address specific unrest, whereas martial law involves military control over the entire nation or large regions, replacing civilian governance. Under martial law, civil rights such as freedom of assembly, speech, and the right to a fair trial are broadly suspended, and civilian courts may be replaced by military tribunals. Martial law has not been declared nationally in the US since the Civil War, though it has been imposed at the state level, such as during World War II. Executive order aims to strengthen control over the southern border, which he has called an attack on American sovereignty. The forthcoming report, due by April 20th, will assess the potential use of the Insurrection Act to address illegal immigration and cartel activities. However, rumors of martial law circulating on social media remain unconfirmed by official statements. Some ex-users fear Trump might use the act to suppress protests or even cancel elections, citing his rhetoric about enemies within others. Reference Senator Cory Booker's calls for action against the potential imposition of martial law. There is currently no credible evidence that Trump plans to declare martial law. The executive order focuses on operational control of the border, not widespread domestic unrest. Kristi Noem has claimed that since Trump took office, illegal border crossings have dropped by 95%, a historic low. However, experts like Vanessa Cardenas from America's Voice warn that Trump's invasion rhetoric could justify harsh measures, including mass deportations that have already impacted legal immigrants and US citizens of Latino descent. The Brennan Center has called the Insurrection Act overly broad and vulnerable to abuse, fueling concerns. As April 20th nears, tensions are rising. If Hegseth and Noem's report recommends invoking the Insurrection Act, it could mark an unprecedented step in immigration policy. However, martial law remains unlikely without clear signs of a large-scale crisis. The public and civil rights advocates are urging vigilance, emphasizing the need to protect civil liberties amid growing executive power.